Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blood Testimonies. I'm Yokanan, your host. Thanks for joining me here on another episode. I've been going through some things, some spiritual battles, like most of us, and a lot of us grab onto James 4:7. Therefore, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I don't know about you, sometimes it seems like that son of a gun won't flee. So, as it says in James, if in verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, because he will give it liberally, and without reproach, and it will be given to him. So, Abba has brought some scriptures into my heart, and again, this is just my process. Don't have to agree with it. This is just what's been working for me, this process that I'm about to share with you. May it bless you. So, first of all, break it up here in the first 4 words there. Therefore, submit to God. That word submit, I'm finding has a lot of weight and what that means to me. And again, I want to give a precursor here. I love Torah. I love everything about it. But I do not keep Torah to be under the law. That is not what I do. I do not keep it for salvation. Let's say that again. I do not keep Torah for salvation. Yochanan doesn't do that. But because of salvation, I have a love response in wanting to keep Torah. And by the end of this, maybe you'll see some things you may never heard of, or it's been a while, or it's just maybe another piece of the puzzle that fits in for you as well. The submitting part, for me, I'm finding there needs to be a preparation of my heart, the ground in my heart. I've done another episode about the origin heart condition. I got to test the spirits within myself to make sure that I'm not puffed up, full of pride, envy, strife, all those things. So let's just go over the sower real quick. Mark 4:14-20. The sower sows the word, and these are the ones by the wayside. There where the word is sown, but they hear, Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that was sown in their heart. This likewise are the ones sown on stony ground, who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure only for a time. Afterwards, when tribulation or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they stumble. Now, these are the ones sown among thorns. They are the ones that hear the word, and the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, and the desires for other things entering in choke the word and becomes unfruitful. But these are the ones sown on good ground. Those who hear the word, accept it, bear fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. Now, I have learned that the enemy knows the word far, far better than I do. The enemy knows if I'm submitted or not, if I'm abiding in his word, if I'm abiding continuously and focused on Yeshua and Devarim Elohim, the words of God. He'll know. And if I'm not submitted, my experience is the principalities of the air will not flee. Some Sons of Sceva action might be happening. What? It's not fun. I have learned that on a daily basis, I must tend the garden of my heart, continually testing the spirits, submitting every thought to the obedience of Yeshua. In the book of James, there in chapter 1, it starts off by Count in all joy when you fall into various trials. For the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Patience. I've noticed, and it's written all over, God does things in a process. It's nothing, I'm not saying nothing, but a lot of the times it takes time. There's a human process that he's developing within us that we don't understand how it works in the spirit realm. But we are called to be patient. I am called. And if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives all liberty and without reproach, and it will be given to him, but ask in faith. And in the Greek, that actually means trust, unwavering trust. It's done. Now I got to be patient. It does answer things pretty quick sometimes. Baruch Hashem, I love it when he does it. But count in all joy when it doesn't. There's a testing that's happening, a refining, a purging, a pruning, that I may be more like Yeshua. I'll share a little history with you guys here out of the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verses 9 through 10. And Nehemiah was a governor, Ezra the priest and a scribe, and the Levites who taught the people said to all the people, "This day is holy to the Lord your God. Do not mourn or weep." For all the people wept when they heard the word of the law. Then he said to them, "Go your way, eat the fat, drink and sweat, drink." Good Lord, Hilton. They said to them, "Go your way, eat the fat, drink the sweat," and wow, they wept when they heard the Torah. Oh yes, and go your way, eat the fat, drink the sweat, and send portions to those for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy to our Lord. Do not sorrow, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Man, I don't know about you, but I've heard in many church circles people, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." Where did the joy come from? From the weeping of hearing the Torah. So this section of Nehemiah, all the people had finally been brought back into the land of Israel after being kept in captivity in Babylon. So they're getting to keep the Feast of Sukkot, Feast of Booths, Tabernacles, for the first time in over 70 years. So here's a question. Why did they weep when they hear it? When they heard the Torah? What would make them weep? I propose to you that they were finally, after all these years in captivity, were able to hear the perfect law of liberty. In Babylon, there's no honor. There's no trust, no respect, there's no love, there's no kindness, there's no just judgment, no mercy, none of that. It's just self-centeredness, self-seeking ambition. Now, being in the land where Jehovah had placed his name, where the Lord had placed his name, they're finally able to have a government under Jehovah's instructions, his ways, not the world's. This is huge. When you've been in captive, been beaten, been just imprisoned, and in their minds, in their bodies, their spirit, everything, just imprisoned. And now, for the first time, a lot of these people are hearing the Torah, and they're hearing a way of living, treating Abba, themselves, and each other in such a way that it had to be a dream. Let's go over a few of those, like in Leviticus 19:9. You believe when you have a vineyard and you go to harvest, you leave the outskirts alone. You don't harvest those. You leave them for the sojourners and the poor, for gleaning. We're reading 23:22, Leviticus. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap the fields right up to the edges, nor shall you gather the gleanings after your harvest. You shall lend them to the poor, and for the sojourner, I am Yehovah your Elohim. Exodus 23:12, resting on the Shabbat. No servile work, no laborious work. You get to rest and study Devarim Elohim, the words of God. You get to immerse yourself on His appointed time. Yes, we can rest anytime, and Abba loves that, of course. But there are what are called moedims. Moed, there are appointed times. That's what the word feast in English means, appointed time. So there's an appointments that Abba says, I want to meet you. Come with me. Come talk to me. I'm going to bless you. Deuteronomy 19:18. The judges shall inquire diligently. That means there's just judgment going on. There's no partiality, there's no favoritism, there's no self-gain. It is what is right. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. And just judgment. They hadn't experienced that in Babylon. This is, oh my goodness, we're going to get a fair trial? What? Deuteronomy 15:7-8. If among you one of your brothers should become poor in any of your towns within your land that Yehovah your Elohim has given you, you shall not harden your heart or shut your hand against your fellow brother, but you shall open your hand to him and lend significance in whatever his needs are, whatever they may be. Can you imagine that? The homeless and the disabled and mentally ill that's out here suffering because you are in Babylon. They're self-centered, self-seeking, self-gain. I digress. Leviticus 25:35-38. If your brother becomes poor and cannot maintain himself with you, support him as though you were a stranger and a sojourner. And he shall live with you and take care of him and help him profit, get back on his feet, basically. For we were strangers and sojourners, and Yehovah brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Abba is about restoration, freedom, love, and compassion and mercy. Deuteronomy 24:15. You shall give him his wages on the same day, before the sun sets, for he is poor and counts on it. Lest he cries against you and cries out to the Lord, and you be guilty of sin. Leviticus 19:17-18. You shall not hate your brother in your heart, in your thoughts. There's no hate. But you shall reason frankly with your neighbor. It's because you shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yehovah, I am the Lord. The Torah is so full of abundance of how God shows us to love Him, ourselves, and others. The book of James is addressed to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Like Nehemiah's time, the New Testament, the Brit Hadashah, it's like, oh my goodness, a flood of Gentiles are coming in, and all the Jewish believers are going, we have a Gentile problem. What are we going to do? We're going to handle this. Then are encouraged, of course, to study Devarim Elohim, words of God. Question: what would it mean to you to have the wisdom of God? What would that do for you? How would that make you feel to be so connected that you're getting wisdom straight from the Creator? Not from any man, woman, AI. Did I just do that? Yeah, did it twice. Well, let's talk about that a little bit here. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because you have rejected knowledge. I will also reject you for being a priest for me, because you have forgotten the law of your God. Let's read that again. Because you have forgotten the law of your God, I will also forget your children. Knowledge and wisdom from Abba Hosea the prophet tells us it is in remembrance of the Torah. Psalms 119:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All those who practice it have good understanding. All those who practice it have good understanding. I don't know about you. I want good understanding. I want wisdom and knowledge from the Creator. His praises endure forever. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 1:7-6. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as like a hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of Jehovah and find the knowledge of God. Wait, what? It's possible to find the knowledge of the Creator? If I incline my ear to wisdom and apply my heart to understanding the Torah? Or the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 9:10. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. I don't know if you've ever prayed this. I want more of you, Abba. I need you, God. I need you. I want to know you. I want to be closer to you. I can't breathe without you. I must have you. Devarim Elohim tells us, words of God tell us, to be submitted to God I have found is in the fear of the Lord and what is written. Matthew 4, in Yeshua's most vulnerable state in 40 days of fasting, he's getting tempted, right? Left and right. And he doesn't grab the Bible, smack him upside the head, and lay hands on him and all this stuff. It's just, no, it's written. It's written. It's written. It is written. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge. You should not tempt the Lord your God. Proverbs 14:26. In the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence. Ooh, I like that. And his children will have a refuge. Let's do that again. In the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence. I want strong confidence. I don't like feeling insecure, neurotic, and emotional. It's not fun. I don't like it. Don't want to do it. Hosea 6:6. I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offering. Matthew 9:13. Go and learn what it means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice, for I came not for the righteous, but sinners. Also reference Matthew 12:7. Here's a beautiful picture of the Torah. I'm going to read here in Deuteronomy chapter 4, 5-9. We know that the Messiah, Yeshua, is the goal of the Torah. So, here we go. Verse 5. Surely I have taught you statutes and judgments, just as Jehovah my Elohim commanded me, that you should act according to them in the land in which you go to possess. Therefore, be careful to observe them, for this is your wisdom, your understanding in the sight of the people, who will hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation, wise and understanding people. For what a great nation is there that has God so near to it as Jehovah, our Elohim, is to us, for whatever reasons we may call upon him. What a great nation. there that has such statutes and righteous judgments as are in all this law, all this Torah, which I've set before you this day. Only take heed to yourself. You diligently keep yourself, lest you forget. I have a built-in forgetter. I don't know about you. So you forget the things your eyes have seen, unless they depart from your heart. We want a heart of flesh, not a heart of stone. Let us not forget. And teach them to your children and to your grandchildren. To me, when I look in the book of James, and he tells us to not just be a hearer of the word, but a doer, that to me is meaningful submission. I've got word, I've got spirit. A friend of mine, Chad at the Promise Center, the pastor there, many years ago, he gave a great analogy. He says, you have all word, you dry up. You have all spirit, you blow up. You have word and spirit together, you grow up. Deuteronomy 6:6, and these words which I command you today shall be in your heart. The origin heart condition. We don't want the heart of the sons of disobedience. We want Abba's heart. And Jeremiah 31:31 is the Torah being placed in our heart that we may obey and do, and his commandments are not burdensome. They are our life. They are wisdom and knowledge. Deuteronomy 10:12. And now, Israel, what does the Lord our God require of you, but to fear the Lord, fear Yehovah, your Elohim, to walk in all his ways and to love him, to serve Yehovah, your Elohim, with all of your heart, with all of your soul. Sean Yochanan cannot partially, in part, if I feel like it. No, all. I surrender all, not to my understanding, but his. Leave you with this. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and good in courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed. For your Elohim, the Lord your God, is with you wherever you go. Is the Lord with you or not? Yes. Full trust, full faith, absolute. It is here. It is done. It's in the mix, people. It's happening. I don't know if this lesson has blessed you or not. Some people are not too familiar with the Tanakh, the Old Testament. And some of the stuff may be like, whoa, wait a minute. There's great blessing in the fear of the Lord and in obedience, in that submission to his ways. When we stand up against the wiles of the devil, we know what is written. We have strong confidence. We have the wisdom and knowledge of the Creator himself. What can stand against us? Nothing. The devil has nothing, no hooks in you, nothing in you. He's like the Messiah. Nothing in him. And if he's in you, and you're in him, abiding in the vine, you have strong confidence. Thank you for letting me rant and ramble here. And again, this is things of revelations and studying the word that I'm doing to help me. Then again, I'm just sharing with you. I don't claim to be a prophet, none of that stuff. I'm just a child of the Most High that's doing my best to crucify my flesh in every breath, that I may hear, well done and faithful servant. Love one another. Love one another. Love one another. That's 3. We'll see you next time. I've been Yochanan.